What's good, y'all? It's your boy J.Brock. It's Clapitup LA. I'm right here with DJMOZA. Oh my goodness.
Yo.
This dude is a man of many hats.
Hey.
He is a Canadian DJ and producer. That's right, Canadian, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We going worldwide here.
That's right, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Man, bro, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. I remember when I first met you, you are such a uplifting person,
Thank
a positive
you, bro.
person.
I'm humble.
And one thing that you guys got to know about DJMOZA is he is big on God's will. And that's something that you mention a lot. Now I got to ask you, man, how you doing today?
Man, I'm good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just like, now you're transitioning to God is good, man. We out here, you know, like, we're blessed.
Yeah.
No, but for real though, I feel like God is definitely a important role in my life. And, you know, shout out to my mom. Like, I grew up in the church, so I just feel like it was always like a positive experience, you know, so.
I feel that, man, and you know, that's one thing that'll always keep you grounded. You're able to pray, ask God for what you want, and you get what you want.
Right.
Now, you have been through a whole lot of things, and you have traveled, you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
You have, so to speak, went and grabbed your destiny in this life.
Right.
What are some of the things that you feel that people, let's say, overlook when it comes to just taking a chance?
Man, taking a chance. I like how you put that together. You know, it's a great question. But for real though, like, it is really about taking a chance, taking a risk. But the best way to word it would be taking a leap of faith. I think so. Especially when it comes to music, like the music industry per se, because making music, you can make music, you can be chilling at home, having a great time. But as soon as you get into the industry side of things and business kicks in, and if you're not going in it with a business mindset, it's very like confusing and, you know, kind of just feels like a lot of chaos. And you're like, how do I fit within this, right?
Exactly.
But as you know, get into the game, which really it is a game. It's a game. You know what I mean? You start networking, you start connecting, you learn more. It is a lot about communication skills and just being like humble and being real, because a lot of times like you come in with the wrong energy and people with different backgrounds and different accomplishments and accolades, they've gotten to a certain point where they're just like, why is this kid coming at me like this? Like I owe him something. I don't owe you anything, bro.
Facts.
I got everything on my own. You know what I mean? I knocked on every door. I did things that most people wouldn't do as far as like,
and see,
you know what I mean?
You
like,
gotta see you
sleeping in the car, like
you got right. Like you gotta stress that point, because when you get into this game, like you said, it's gonna be people that mess with you off the rip, and it's gonna be people that don't.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
That's true. It's just a vibe thing too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like you have to understand. Like one thing, like people were telling me, like shout out my guy Salas, you got to keep your feelings out of it.
True.
Because if you were in your feelings, it's gonna kind of run.
That's
you into
how it was
a
for me
dead
for
end.
most of the time. It was a lot of emotion, because I'm an emotional person. You know what I mean? So like a lot of times when I'd be turned down from an opportunity, it'd be like, it's like, does that person not like me? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Whatever that, because I started young. I started in the game like 2014, so I was already like 19, 20 years old. But that's a young mind state. You know what I mean? Like growing up, as you go through the years, you realize like in any industry, you know what I mean? Like even if you get a 9-to-5 job, your boss is gonna come at you and be like, hey, this and this, you didn't do that right. You might feel some type of way. Like I tried my best. You know what I mean? So I think that business, employment, self-employment, you know, you just got to get your emotions out of it and remember that it is business in the end of the day. But okay, when we're human, you know, we have feelings quite naturally, you know what I'm saying? Like I know a lot of people kind of like to act like, well, don't nothing bother me. I don't care. But how did you learn to overcome the emotions, you know, and kind of keep going forward, because we can always fall off track? That's true. Yeah. I think that especially with the advent of social media, we're consistently like creating this image of what we want people to see. And so once you have that image of yourself and you go out and it's your digital copy and people just see you as that, you know, they don't see anything else. They don't see the layers. So I feel like as long as you stay authentic and real to yourself and don't fall to the trap of like believing that you are the brand, keep your human side, that's what's going to elevate you to the next level of where humanity is going inevitably. Like for example, Facebook just changed its name to Meta. Metaverse, you know what I mean? It's going to be a reality. And he said it, like Mark Zuckerberg said, Facebook and Meta and all that, it's all about human connection. It's not about, let me like dehumanize myself and become a robot. You know what I mean? If that's the point, then I mean it defeats the purpose, because how can I connect with you if you're some sort of like industry plant that has like no story.
He's an industry plant.
You know what I mean?
You know what? And you know, one thing that a lot of the older people you know, like our parents, the human connection. They had to go outside and play.
Yeah.
We on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
But we could bring it though.
Yeah.
And a lot of like people like, for example, like Peggy Goo. I'm very inspired by her. She's a tech house artist from Korea, but like she was in Germany. That's when she got her start. Right. And like just like her fashion, the way she presents herself on videos, like it's just so chill, so real. She's a vibe, you know what I mean? And I connect with that, even though the music is techno, which is like a very, you know, a lot of like synthesizers.
Right,
and like it's very like electronic, but the soul, like the disco aspect, because it all started from disco, and then from there went to like funk music and just like mixing it with hip hop and reggae and all that. It's like now we have tech house, for example, with Chicago house and Detroit techno. Right. You know what I mean? So when you bring it all together, it's like, now how can I humanize this and let people know like I'm just a dude who makes music because I love music. Right. It should be about the soul. Like if you go back, it was all soul. It was all real. It was like people having like in Detroit. Right. I called you. Remember we were talking about that. It's like,
see, he broke that down to me that techno music started in Detroit.
It really started
and
in
that
Detroit.
Was that's interesting.
Like I understand it may have like originated experimentation wise in Germany, but like the crafting and the honing and like specializing it and bringing in new synth sounds that people have never heard of, like going in on the oscillators, EQing it in different ways, different LFOs. Like that's all Detroit techno. That's crazy. African Americans working in manufacturing companies, hearing robotic noises. I watched it on a documentary, hearing it directly from the sources. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm making this. You could go figure it out on yourself.
Yeah,
you know,
Google
you can find
it.
out.
Do your own homework on that.
Do your research. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the same thing with funk music. Same thing with disco. It's all African American music. But people have been inspired. Same thing. I've been inspired by hip hop, and hip hop being obviously rooting from that with the sampling of disco and things of that nature. It's like I've been inspired by the culture, and now I have to make a conscious decision. Am I a culture vulture, appropriating the culture, or am I giving my respect to the creators and to the OGs and the pioneers? I respect that. I respect that because, you know, when you look at it, so to speak, in a sense, you will personally make sure you take care of it. I will, bro. Instead of abusing. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. Yeah, I respect because that. Like a lot of people want to just take it, and I've never heard them mention that ever in my life. Like this is just from me doing my homework and being around a lot of great minds like Yasin Bey, who you know, Mos Def, you know what I mean, and just hearing him talk about a lot of stuff. I was always a student. And whenever he'd be talking, I'd be quiet, just taking notes and just really just tapping in and be like, damn, this guy's like really, really smart. Now, how important do you think it is to be a student in this game rather than walking around like you got it figured out? Always be a student for the rest of your life. Like my wife, one of her favorite mottos is never stop learning. Like she literally has an email like that, you know? So it's like, if we never stop learning, we never stop exploring, we never stop growing, then I think that's the ultimate purpose of life, you know? Facts. Like, I gotta agree with like that. Like a flower, like it always faces the sun and then it closes and it opens back up. You know, it knows to be a student of the sun because it needs it to survive, you know what I mean? That's the truth, and most of y'all might not have known that, but you broke that down. Yeah. Now, you know, being in Canada, you were put on hip hop in a specific way. Right. Where you got some CDs, you were able to listen to 50 Cent, G-Unit, and you say you would just listen to it over and over again and you began to freestyle. So what was one of your favorite songs that you would hear back in those days? Man, definitely those names: 50 Cent, Eminem, Tupac, Snoop Dogg. Those were my biggest, like, the art. Because obviously my uncle, not obviously, but like my uncle actually gave me a CD, and it had those burnt on it. Not my uncle, my cousin. My bad. My uncle actually put me onto techno and all that. He was breakdancing. Yeah. But with the hip hop stuff, man, like I eventually got access to LimeWire, so I started downloading everything. But that first LimeWire was the lick, man. Yeah. But that first CD, I had like Changes by Pac and like obviously like Dear Mama, and I had Hit 'Em Up too. So it was like all these different emotions of just like, you know, the conscious revolutionary mindset, and then at the same time the family oriented side of him, and at the same time his aggressive side is, you know, his emotions and his true what was going on at that moment in his life. So I feel like that really inspired me to become an artist, is just seeing the different emotions that were the soul that was put into the music. So definitely Tupac would be, you know, my #1 inspiration. I think that, you know, Tupac represented the many layers of hip hop. Of course. You know, because Tupac can give you revolutionary, like you said. He can give you
a love making music, or he could give you the heartbreaking music. You know what I'm saying?
He was the Drake of his time.
Yeah. You know what? I ain't never heard nobody say that.
Yeah.
But that's pretty true.
Yeah.
The only thing Tupac didn't do was sing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but he did in a way too. He had some singing elements to his rap. Actually, he was way different. Yeah, most of rap back then was like, take them back and do it, like Rakim, the God MC, you know what I'm saying? But then he was coming in with a da and a da, you know what I mean? It was extending those, and then
I guess he had his rhythmic way of doing things.
It was a melodic rhythm. It was beautiful, man. Like he was a legend, and like him, and obviously Eminem, like it was crazy because he was a white rapper, and so like I felt like I related more just seeing him as a light skinned dude like doing it. I'm like, whoa, if he could do it, maybe I could do it, you know.
So him being white, you feel was definitely more influential.
Oh yeah, it was like not more influential, but just like they were both dope in their own way. His is like, okay, this is hip hop. Not to say Eminem wasn't, but it's like, wow, this guy actually grew up around African Americans in an impoverished Detroit neighborhood, and this is his story. Yeah. And so, you know, me being in Canada, like it wasn't like I was in the hood. It's not like I was in the ghetto or anything. I was just in a chill, you know, middle class neighborhood, like most of my life. You know what I mean? So, I think that I was more so inspired by the artistry, just as much as I was inspired by tap dancing and Backstreet Boys and random types of things that I was picking up when I was 6 years old, 5 years old. I was listening to that. That's what my mom would let me listen to. But when I'm getting older, 9, 10 years old, I'm like, oh, I can listen to this now. And she didn't understand what these rappers were saying anyways.
Like, what are they talking about?
They're like,
so I gotta ask you, do you think that there is a different struggle when it comes to like skin color, or you know what I'm saying, the background? Do you think
as a rapper?
Do you think there is a different struggle?
That's why I didn't rap.
What is something that you? Okay, so why? But why though?
I think that not only skin color. Let me correct myself. Yeah. I think that it's also your story. You know what I mean? So if you're a rapper, you have to understand you're stepping into a world full of stories.
Facts.
Right? Yeah. And so, for example, Eminem's story, we all know the mother situation, his ex-wife situation, all that kind of stuff, right? That's a story. And same thing with MGK, he has a story. But like people like that want to come into the game as an artist and they don't have a story, it's kind of hard to connect with you. And I'm not saying I don't have a story, but honestly, it won't impact you as much as like Tupac.
I understand.
So I understood that at an early age, but I still love the artistry of rapping and freestyling, and I'll do it at home while I'm making my beats. So I actually, when I create my beats, I have the artist rapping in my mind. So then when I actually reach out, they're like, oh, I could rap on this easy. It's because I was rapping to it as I was making it.
One of the things you spoke about is how before you build a beat, you said the vocal is the most important thing to building a beat. Yeah. So producers can make beats, I guess, from scratch, or they can make a beat around what you feel like you said, the vocals. So you prefer to do it basically around the vocals?
If it's possible, like what I do is I provide like a super simple chord progression, or with a
What's
simple...
a chord progression? Because I don't know what the hell that is, so I know somebody.
It's just like a melody, right? Like da 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 da, whatever. And then you take the drums, it could be super simple. And then if the artist is, some artists, they can have a very simple beat, and it allows them to do more vocally, and then we build the beat and all the sounds and everything around the vocals.
Got you.
And by we, I mean record producers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what do you think is the hardest thing about producing a record?
I think it's connecting with an artist. You know what I mean? Because it's hard for you to just, you could pay artists, you could go around buying verses, but it's not going to be real. You know what I mean? Because the connection is not there. They don't really know you. You know what I mean? I'm not saying don't pay for verses, because people should get paid for their time and their craft. But at the same time, like, if you have no real connection with the artist you're working with, I don't think it's going to come as authentic. Like, I've worked with artists that they don't have a verification. I don't either, but they don't have like millions of views. And, you know what I mean? They're just smaller artists who are just getting started, but they got flow, man. They got sound. They got a style that's just like different. You know what I mean? So I'd rather work with an up and coming, maybe the next Drake or the next Weeknd, than work with, somebody Drake or the Weeknd.
Okay, I got you.
And no offense to them. I look up to them. I love their music. I was listening to Drake on the way here. You know what I mean? But it's just really like, I want to see what's next. Who's next? What are we doing? Let's make something. Let's make our own thing.
Got you.
You know what I mean? So that's why, I'm doing this sound fusion, and I'm bringing worlds together, because I want to take dope artists, Latin artists, and African American, maybe rappers or singers, R&B, and being like, yo, these worlds are lit. There's also this world right here. let's say tech house or a Middle Eastern artist like Meher, and just bring them together. And I'm just standing there like, okay, cool, let's organize this. Let's get the videographers here, rent out this place, get this car, make things work out, you know?
Yeah, and to speak on that, do you feel like there's a different type of hunger when you got somebody that's up and coming versus somebody who's verified, established? They kind of feel like, well,
at times, don't get me wrong, at times. If you are verified and you have lots of views, you get to a point where you're part of a machine now. You're part of a system. So it's like it's not even like a spiteful thing to be like, oh, I can't work with you now. It's like they're already part of a system.
Facts.
So do I enjoy working with independent artists? Yes. Does that necessarily mean they're as hungry as the one who's already verified? Not necessarily. Reason being is that you could be very talented, but you're not business oriented. So when it comes down to like, let's schedule in your time, let's make sure you're in the studio here, take these pictures, do this. Sometimes they're just not able to do all that. You know. Now,
what's a common problem that you would say is something that producers have to deal with that nobody else may see?
I think it's the management side as a record producer. I mean, beat makers have their own struggles as well, and I'd love to set this apart. I heard Swiss talk about it. I've heard lots of great producers talk about it, but a record producer and a beat maker are different.
Two different things. And I kind of noticed that myself. Yeah,
because like I can make a beat, but then to arrange the music videos and to arrange the, getting the models and the, editors and everything together, it's like a whole different job. So like it is a lot of scheduling. It is a lot of like getting the numbers together, the budgets, sponsored, if you're getting sponsorships, if you're doing product placement, so much into it that like, it's just, I don't know. At that point, it's like a whole business, It's like I feel like I'm an agency at this point.
You can be kind of pressured up. And then the funny thing is, he likes to do it the difficult way. Because if you pay attention to the music he has dropped, let's talk about the Airbnb video. You got people coming from different parts of the world. You know what I'm saying? So that it's kind of stressful.
No, it's difficult. And I have to work around their schedules because, for example, like Meher, like you said, is coming from the other side of the world to shoot her first English debut.
And that's big.
Airbnb.
And you did that.
And I'm grateful and blessed to be able to be a part of that experience. You know what I mean? And then bring in like up and coming Latin artists like KOLA, Doble Baby, El Salvadorian, Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? And then we got Cassandra, who's half Dominican. You know what I'm saying? Cassandra's doing big things. She's like in these TV shows that, I don't know if I can speak about it yet, so I don't know. But she's killing it. And I gotta, she's only free on this day. He's only free here. And you know what I mean? And
you gotta make all that
work. Okay, this one day works for everybody. And then now I gotta hit up sponsors and all this. And it's like, man, it's a lot of work. But
but so to speak, you are playing the role of a manager. Have you ever thought about being a manager?
I think that's definitely something in the future for me. I just need to work my way up to establishing myself as a record producer and as a DJ and as an artist, everything, to really so that an artist would want to be managed by me. You know what I mean? Gotcha. Like they need to see the worth, right? So, because I can't go up to people right now and say, hey man, let's do this, but I haven't done anything from, not anything, but like I still am.
You feel like I'm just getting started. Your dues. He's done stuff.
I'm a young G.
I'm gonna tell you, he's done stuff, but he feels like he hasn't paid his dues yet. That's all it is. He's done it for sure. Now, what is the energy like? What was the energy like around this Airbnb video shoot? I seen the green Lambo was going crazy. I had the green Lambo going up. Now, what was that like? And walk us through kind of how that day was for you.
Man, it was a beautiful day. Honestly, like we pulled up. I have a good relationship with the owners of the building and good friends of ours with the whips and you know what I mean. Like everything just came through together where it's like. I make sure that the budget's good, everyone gets paid, whatever. But
he's a manager.
As long as everyone's good and everyone feels good about what they're doing, they're in a good spirit. I don't want people to come through and be like, man, like I don't want to be here.
You don't want that.
You gotta want to be there. And I felt like everybody wanted to be there. Everyone was live. Everyone is like good vibes, and people were meeting, each other. And there's different cultures and different backgrounds, and just really connected. And the funny thing is, we actually connected all the artists before, obviously in the studio. We were hanging out, we were vlogging, you know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like it's just like a real human connection. Like this is like music, man. Like this is real music. Like I feel like real music is, you look back in the day, like they be chilling together in the studio and just having a good time, going out, hitting the town, So it's like, I don't know, bro. Like I just feel like it was fun, it's real, and the music that they came up with was real, you know what I'm saying, for the vibes, you know, like we're going to the Airbnb with your loved one, you're having a good time, you're celebrating, you know what I'm saying?
It was a real party vibe.
Yeah.
So I gotta say, if y'all have not saw Airbnb, please make sure you look it up on YouTube. Airbnb is a hot song, and if you ain't saw it, then you must be living in a cold world. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. My guy put that together. I mean, well, we living in a cold world, but we gotta, you know, we gotta do what we gotta do.
Let's heat it up. Let's heat it up with the music video.
Exactly, and this is what he did with Airbnb. So I gotta ask you, when you think about obstacles, you know, when you think about keeping the faith in the midst of your obstacles, how long has it taken you to gain the strength that you have spiritually, mentally, to keep going forward?
I think that spirituality is something that it wavers, and faith, it wavers.
Facts.
There's going to be days when you wake up and you're like, man, God, why'd you put me in this situation? But then you remember, it must be a test. It must be something that God wants me to overcome. You know what I mean? The universe is really pushing me to my limits so that I can become the ultimate version of me.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So I take every hiccup, whether it's with health or it's with family or it's with this and that, as like, yo, I'm becoming better. I'm becoming stronger. So I think that, and in regards to the industry, it's the same thing. Like as you go, there's going to be days, maybe months that nothing's moving and you feel stagnant. And that's even with businesses too, right? So it's like, you don't see anything, but then boom, like one day I get a call and I get to open up for Mos Def, and I'm meeting him and I'm feeling blessed.
That must have been grateful, bro. You know, now, shout out to the great Mos Def. What was a conversation that y'all had, like something that he advised to you or told you, like that you would never forget?
I think that the interesting about Yasin, Mos Def, is that he's so like nonchalant about everything. Like he's just like moving. He's just like he's like a leaf in the wind, you know what I mean? Like he's just like, this is life, I'm here, I exist, and I'm grateful to exist, and I'm at peace. And I make music and people love the music, and it's like, it's his soul, like it's a reflection. Like think of like a photograph of his soul, that's his music. You know what I mean? He doesn't look at it like as something, you know, that it's not a job to him. He literally gets up on stage and spins for like 5 minutes. He just spins in a circle. He stops the whole show and does a prayer. That's beautiful. It's never been done. Like I mean, not that I know of. You know what I mean? So what I've learned from him is through his actions. It's not through his words. I mean, he has a lot of great words too, but it was mostly his actions and his vibes and his energy. So I definitely picked up on that, and I'm very grateful for that.
Okay, sure. Now you've been blessed to come across many different personalities in the industry. What are some of the things that you were impressed with that you noticed when you first started coming around? Were you ever starstruck at any point?
Starstruck. I was definitely starstruck when I met 2 Chainz. I'm not gonna lie, I was so starstruck, man. Hey, this is an exclusive, bro. I've never.
Facts.
So I was in the studio, and then I was doing something with my boy Duran Okoli, and I just see him walk in, and I know, like, okay, he's going into that room. And then I just go back into the room. I'm like, yo, Duran, 2 Chainz just walked. He's like, go say what's up, bro. Like, he's super chill about it. He's an actor. He's just like, go say what's up. And I'm like, yeah, all right. And I'm like, I'm already shaking, like, and this is like 2018 or something like that. I'm like a couple years back. I'm like going up to the door. I knock on the door. And then Hit Boy opens the door. Oh my goodness. And I'm like, then I'm starstruck again. I'm like, bro, it's Hit Boy. Oh my, what's up, bro? He's like, what's up, G? What's good? And I'm like, you know, I was just looking. Bro, first of all, you a sick producer, bro. I'm about to say I'm looking for 2 Chainz, but it's Hit Boy. You can't do that. You're a sick producer. And he's like, yo, I appreciate you, dog. I was like, yeah, so I was just trying to say what's up to 2 Chainz too. And he's like, yeah, for sure, bro. He's just right outside. And then I go outside the door, and he's just chilling over there on the phone. And he's just talking, and he's like doing whatever. And then I was just like, I like waved, and then he like looked at me. He's like, I don't know this guy, you know? Like, he's waving at me. And I was like, my bad, bro. I just wanted to say what's up. And he's like, yeah, just give me a minute. He handles his business, whatever. I'm waiting, bro. Like most people probably would have been awkwarded out and just dipped out. I waited patiently because I was like, this man doesn't owe me anything. If he's on his phone, he's handling business. I can't interrupt him like that. So I waited patiently. And then he talked to me, and, you know, I told him a little bit about myself and like what his music and everything. And, you know, it was chill. Like, we even talked about like his dog and like how I thought he's like super dope. I have a dog and everything. So yeah, I love my dog. Shout out Charlie. Check him out on Instagram. Shout out Charlie. Charlie Mozafari.
And you know what? I can relate to that. Like, you don't want to come off as weird, but you want to keep your cool, but at the same time you are kind of being weird.
But I mean, I'm a fan, cool. You know? Like, what am I supposed to do?
I understand.
A lot of people want to act like they're not fans of people. It's like, bro, I'm I'm a fan of 2 Chainz. I'm a fan of Hit Boy. Like as a DJ, bro, I'm a fan of a lot of artists too. On top of that, to be real with you, like
give me your top 5 DJs.
Top 5 DJs.
Top 5 DJs.
Man, as of lately, like to be honest, it would have to be my homie. Yeah, Me Too.
Okay.
He's you know, he's definitely blessed me to come on stage with him and vibe out. So shout out to him. Obviously, A-Track, head of Fool's Gold, one of the biggest Canadian DJs in my opinion. Right now, Peggy Goo with the techno, you know, house vibe, tech house vibe. So that's 3. And then shout out Cypress Moreno. We're in the building right now. Cypress, you know what I'm saying? I had to
shout out Catch 22.
Definitely top 5 right now.
If y'all ain't paying attention to Catch 22,
you guys need to be up on
wake up for real.
You know what I'm saying? I came out to his album release party, 1900. Everybody, that shit was lit,
that's
bro.
where I met. This is where I met my guy at, man.
That's right.
And you know, I could just tell off top he was a pure dude,
the West Coast was live in there, bro. Like I felt like really in LA right there. That was lit. For real. But so that's 4 right there, and then for the 5th one is DJ Khaled.
I was finna say,
and they're not in order. They're not in order. They're all up there.
I'm like, wait a minute, he ain't said DJ Khaled at all.
Hey, bro, no, bro. Hey, that's Big Billy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Call me Lil Billy.
Man. Hey, man, for sure. Now,
hey, I love DJ Khaled.
Now, I gotta ask, man, what is the typical setting that you like when you step into the studio? What do you prefer to be going on in the studio? Do you need a lot of people around you? Do you like to be in there peace and quiet?
Yeah.
What's going on for you? What do you want?
Man, as an artist, as a producer, I work at home. I just work on my gear in my studio at home. So it's a blessing, you know what I'm saying? I have my own peace of mind. I can create what I want and not be influenced by anybody. But in regards to working with other artists, man, I like to work the way that the artist likes to work.
Gotcha.
So like one artist might be like, yo man, I gotta roll up, you know what I'm saying, smoke a little something, chill with some honeys, whatever. I'm like, do you, bro? As long as if that's your part, if that's part of your artistry and that's how you create, that's how you create. I'm not here to dictate how you live your life and how you make music. I'm just blessed and grateful to be even making music with you, bro. You know what I mean?
That's beautiful.
Or sis, you know what I'm saying? Like
that's beautiful.
You know what I mean?
That's beautiful that you say that, because it's very important to respect an artist and the ways that they want to do things.
And all humans, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go up to some dude and tell him how to live his life, or some, you know, like, hey, your religion or this, or your politics is that, or this. It's like, everyone has their own opinion and everyone has their own state of mind. I think that as long as there's peace and there's respect, that's the key between human connection. You know what I mean? It's like, I might not agree with everything that you do, but if I like you for the things that I like you for, then we homies like that. We don't have to worry about, you know, this and that and little things. We just dust it off.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? It's all about respect, you know? So same thing goes with the music vibes and the creation vibes. It's like, respect one another. But I mean, if it's too crazy, sure. I mean, I'm going to have to figure it out. It's like, we're not being productive. I got to kick in with the manager vibe and be like, hey, let's remove this scenario and that.
But see, that's kind of hard. That's kind of hard to check into.
It's a balance, bro. But I mean, there is money involved. There is like people's time, and like I got to make sure everyone's being respected, not just one person just because they're so and so. You know what I mean?
That is the truth. I don't do that. That's the truth. That's the truth. Now, you speak a lot about tech house.
Yeah, man.
And we know you have, you know, the love for electronic music, EDM.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you, what has inspired you so much? Well, I know that you like to control. You like the control of the EDM music.
What do you mean? In what sense?
Well, I guess because you can like almost put together 4 different beats at once or whatever, but you can control
you mean
that.
I create the beat how I see fit, and it's like a lot of creative control. I feel you. Definitely that's one aspect of it. I think that a lot of my inspiration for tech house, and this might sound like kind of childish, but I used to play Need for Speed on my PlayStation.
Oh yeah,
and it's so much tech house, techno, you know, vibes. And I was like, that's great memories from that. And then like at the same time, when I was like 8, 9 years old, my uncle was breakdancing, and he was dancing to techno and stuff, and I thought that was super cool, you know. So for me, I was just like a fan from that point. And then the reason I stuck to hip hop mostly though is just my environment in which I grew up in. It wasn't that, you know, it was all hip hop. So
tech house was something that you had to pretty much seek out.
Yeah, I had to go back to it. Okay. You know what I mean? It wasn't something that was around me, especially just, you know, I was just really into hip hop, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
So what's, okay, you also dropped a tech house project, correct?
I did, House Full of Tech.
Okay, House Full of Tech.
It was like a little EP, 3
We're not
songs.
talking about the drink tech, we talking about
a House Full of Tech.
The for real though,
yeah, that's funny. Nah, but for real, so House Full of Tech is just like a couple tech house songs that I was experimenting with because I had never made tech house music, and it was COVID, and you know, I really wanted to make the music that I was listening to. I was listening to, like I said, a lot of Peggy Gou, a lot of Michael Beebe, you know what I'm saying? So they inspired me, and then I just started making it, and I feel like now that I'm looking back at it, it's not that good at all. But you know what's funny is, and that's just like a year ago or whatever.
Yeah, you did
but
it though.
I feel like people get too caught up, and I'm speaking for myself too, not just people. We get too caught up in like certain things, and we feel insecure about it. Like for example, TikTok. I just started TikTok. I only have like 1,000 fans, going from the 60K to that. And a lot of people aren't transitioning over for whatever reason, but I'm making TikTok because it's fun, and I'm getting a bunch of like new fans, and they're rocking with me just because I'm being goofy and doing me, you know, just being authentic, being real to me. So it's way different. It's way out of my comfort zone because like, till now I've always created a digital, like I feel like a fake image of myself where it's just showing highlights, like oh, here I am with French Montana, Blueface, I'm with this person, that person, and it's like those are great moments in my life, but that's not who I am, you know what I mean? Just taking pictures with people and going to events and you know, being at shows is like, I want to show people more the real me. And during COVID, like me and my wife started vlogging. We do like random funny things and challenges and stuff, and we're just having fun and being ourselves, and I feel like people are connecting now more with me on a human level than ever before. So I feel like it's just be yourself, put it out there, and whatever you're doing, it'll go hand in hand with that, because people want to know you first, and then maybe buy a Clap It Up t-shirt. They're not going to buy it if they don't rock with you. You know what I'm saying? So,
and we got to give a shout out to his wife, Miss JoJo.
Yeah,
man, she didn't even know that we knew each other.
That was
you
crazy.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she hit me up about that. Now I have seen the vlogs, and you know, you do a fair amount of traveling. You know what I'm saying? So where did you get the idea? You know, where did y'all get the idea to just like pick up a camera and start the vlog?
Man, honestly, I think like my mom, my sister, JoJo's family, like everyone was telling us, you guys should vlog. You guys are a cute couple.
Yeah, definitely.
You guys are funny.
Sure.
You guys are fun. You know, whatever. And we're just like, yeah, it's just, I don't know if it's for us. Like da da da. It's like it was all these like thoughts of just insecurities of just like, what am I gonna look like on camera? Like you know, all this stuff, but. The reality of things is once you get in front of the camera and you know this best as an interviewer, you get used to it, and you just start to become yourself, and you don't worry too much. Like, am I slunched? Am I standing straight? Who cares? Like,
you have to a certain amount. And I was just gonna ask you that, but you answered it right there.
I don't care. People are gonna either rock with me or they don't. And if you don't rock with me for whatever reason, it's okay. There's like millions of other pieces of content out there. I'm just another piece of content right now. You know, I'm another person. You know what I mean? Either you enjoy watching me or you don't. It's okay.
No, that's the truth.
Or listening to my music or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the truth. Now, here's the thing I gotta ask you, because like you spoke on previously, how Instagram, it only shows one side. It shows the highlights.
True. Yeah.
Now,
most of the time, not everybody, but for me,
well, you got some people that are more transparent and like, well, I went through this, I went through that. What do you think that you would like people to understand about your process in specific? Because I'm telling you, look like my boy winning. You know what I'm saying? My boy is happy, perfect, but then deep down inside, we all got our own demons. We all got demons. So what do you think is that one thing that you constantly battle with that you pretty much never let anybody see on social media?
I think that just like every human, like we all go through different emotions and phases. There's ups and downs. When you go to work, you're not gonna take that depression or that anxiety to your workplace just because you have to have a professional attitude and you want to set that tone. But as an artist and as a creative, I feel like it's my calling, and I feel like it will come, but it will come naturally.
Yes, sir.
Because I want to connect with people that are like-minded, and maybe they already have these organizations where they're helping people with depression or anxiety, things that I've been through personally. And I want to be like, hey, like let's throw a fundraiser. I'll come through and DJ for free for the love, because I want to bring people out and raise awareness and get people help. And you know, I do therapy. You know what I mean? Like, but
do you recommend like more people do therapy?
Of course, yeah. Find a therapist that you rock with, and and maybe this person isn't related to you at all, because a lot of people, they go to their wife or their mom or their dad.
Yeah,
whatever
sometimes you don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's not good, because now you're giving them stress, because those people love you. They're like totally attached to you. But a therapist is detached. You know, they analyze you, and then they give you a different perspective on your situation, and you reanalyze things, and then you move forward in a more healthier state of mind. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna get too into specifics about my mental health like in detail, but I mean, we all know what it feels like to be sad. We all know what it feels like to be to feel rushed, and to feel like something is not being completed on time, or your goals have to be met. But once you start to rethink everything and regroup, you realize that ultimately happiness is a decision.
Yeah, man.
It's a decision, bro.
And that's something that I've learned. Not even. No, I would not say it's a decision, because sometimes it's just easier to be down in the dumps. It's easier to be depressed. Of course, you gotta tell yourself, I gotta fight against this. And that's something I've had to battle with. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just a part of life. Yeah. Some people, it seems like they have it easier, and some people, it seems like it's a little bit harder. But whatever the case may be, I agree with you as far as even talking about just how important it is to go to a therapist, because sometimes you don't want to share that with your partner, because like you said, it stresses them out. Yeah. And sometimes it's kind of like, dang, I kind of don't even want you thinking about that.
Don't talk about that specific thing with you. Yeah.
Facts. Sure. So I definitely get that. That's what now. You have been in shows, you have been in concerts, and like you said, we still battling these emotions, but we got to clean that out and put on a happy front in front of the show. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So have you ever been faced with like a moment where you like, but you got to go to this show?
Yeah, I think that especially in the beginning stage of my career, like there was a lot of times when I wasn't getting paid, and it was a decision. It was a conscious decision as an investment in myself, but having to struggle with paying my bills, but at the same time wanting to advance in my career. It was a very like, you're thinking about, I'm negative 30 in my bank account, right? And I'm over here on stage in front of thousands of people,
and they think I'm rich,
and they think I'm really rich because they just saw this video of me in a plane. And it's like I had to do all that to just get to a place where now I feel like I'm comfortable, and I'm blessed and grateful for my health, most importantly, my family, the people that I love. And then, you know, whatever else comes with it, that's great. But the focus should always just be being grateful for those basic things, because those basic things can be taken away like that. Facts. You know what I mean? I could be dead tomorrow. You know what I mean? So I don't need to worry too much about the anxieties of like, I need to achieve this, and it's like, chill out, take a second, take a breather, and remember that you're just a human. Yeah, you know what I mean? And whatever you're pursuing, go for it. If you're trying to get that degree, you'll get it. But you don't need to get it right now within the next 4 minutes. Calm down, breathe. You know what I mean? Because I know people that, you know, you listen to stories. I don't know if you know the rapper Logic.
I've heard of him.
He had an anxiety attack and he was in the hospital. You know what I mean? And you hear about his stories, and it's just inspirational, bro. So I feel like I like to tap in with a lot of different people like yourself, and just really, I think that we could create that. You know what I mean? We could create that space for people to feel safe and come out and have a good time, and you know. We're talking about it right now, right here. You never know,
man. And you know that's important that we discuss these type of things, because like I heard you speak on another interview. I believe you did an interview on Chicago. Yeah. And you spoke about how taking a risk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm on stage, negative $30, but I'm taking this risk right now because this is what I believe in. 100%. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you have to understand how important that is to get to where you want to get to. Yeah. And that is why we thank God and we ask God for what we want. So what are some of the things that DJMOZA has in the works for us right now that we can expect within the near future? You got something coming for us by the end of the year?
I'm very excited. I'm not sure about before 2022 because 22 is one of my favorite numbers. My birthday is actually June 22. So it's gonna be June 22. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. I'm very excited about next year, and I think that I'm spending a lot of time alone. I haven't been DJing as much. I just been at home in the studio, and I mean, I can give away this much information. You're going to be hearing a lot of tech house.
You're going to be hearing a lot of tech house.
A lot of tech house.
Yes, sir.
But it's going to be all the people that I've worked with, you know, Latin artists, rappers, everything. Like, I feel like it's coming full circle, and it's coming to, like I said, like fusing sound styles, fusing cultures, bringing the world together through music. And that's just my goal, man. That's what makes me happy. So I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep pursuing the happiness and that's music for me right now, bro. That's my like I am music. You know what I mean? Like I live it, and like it's what gets me up in the morning. So aside from all the other businesses I have, those I do to pay the bills, but music is not about money for me. You know, obviously I have to get paid for my time, whatever, what have you. But when it's like I'm spending time in the studio, 12 hours straight working on some beats, no problem. It'll go by like that.
And I feel that's a beautiful thing when you can find what you want to do. Well, when you can do something without getting paid for it, I think that's how you know you found your purpose.
Most people can't do it though. That's the thing.
Man.
Even
especially
myself,
now.
I was struggling in the beginning, man. Like to think that I'm doing a service for free, it was like mind blowing. But then I would remind myself, this is for yourself. You're investing in yourself. You know what I mean? So I think it's perspective. Once people start to do what they love, and maybe not get paid in the beginning, it's like an internship. Man, bro. You know what I mean? You're an internship for yourself.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? So
I mean, you paying your dues.
Yeah, you're paying your dues too.
You have to pay your dues, and I never forget. I heard E40 say on this documentary, like, man, you're gonna have to do stuff for free. And out of everything he said, that was the one thing that stuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, like you're gonna have to do something for free, but that's how you know you love it.
That's the businessman mentality, bro. You know what I mean? Like every business. First year or two, there's not even income. You'd be lucky to break even. You're gonna be losing money. You know what I mean? So once you have that in mind, I think from there it's smooth sailing. Not really. There's ups and downs, but you know what I mean. Ups and downs,
regardless. But
you just have to understand the concept.
Right. As long as, like I said, I ask God every day, can I get paid to do what I love? Yes, I want to be rich. Can I make my living like this? You know, every single day.
And you'll get to it as long as you keep investing in yourself.
Right. Facts.
You know, and that's why, you know, we're both on the same page and we're here together. It's because we both have the same mind state, and that's a business mind state. Aside from our passion, we understand that, and I hope that our viewers understand it too. Because if we were, you know, D-bags, we'd be like out here not telling people anything. We'd just be like, just walk around like, hey man, you know, I made it, baby. I won't even tell you at all, you know. Like
he said D-bags.
I'm not trying to swear.
No, it's cool. Now, we all have this journey where we could be in a culture shock. Yeah. You came from Canada to LA. Ooh. What were some of the things that you had to adapt to quickly?
Quick, man.
You know what I'm saying? When you first began to come out here and had to adapt to the way of life.
Oh yeah, man. Just to get started, is the culture of LA is like radically different. If you go to Beverly Hills, and then you go a little bit south, and you can get served. You know what I mean?
My goodness.
Like, what's up? Where you from, bro? What's up, fool? You know, like, what's up, homie? And it's like I didn't even know what that is. To random people to just yell at me from across the street, asking me where I'm from and shit. Like I don't even know. I've never heard, like, at least growing up in Canada, I never experienced it in that capacity. Obviously, there's different, you know, crews and groups of people in different areas that, you know, like in every city, there's sketchy, you know, things. But if you stay away from it and when you meet those certain people, you show respect and look away, then you could keep your head out of, you know what I mean? You know,
you gotta be careful.
In any city, right?
So, facts.
But there is a culture shock because the Latinos have a certain culture, African Americans have a certain culture, and that I wasn't really exposed to in Canada. You know, we have like Filipinos, Middle Eastern, you know, different types of Asian, white, native, you know, and even our black people, a lot of them, they're from Africa, like they're from Ghana, Kenya, you know what I mean? Like, so it's a different type of, we have a whole different culture. Like we have different accents, we have different words, like we say washroom and yo man, let me get my toque on, and you know, you're like, what is that? You know, like See, I'm just saying beanie. I'm just saying like restroom, but like
that's crazy.
When I'm out here, people are looking at like, they were like, what are you saying even? You know what I mean? Like, so I had to pick up a lot of words, and now I'm walking around like, what's up, fool? You good? And it's like, it's normal to me now. I've been here for like almost a decade, back and forth, you know? But so I think that picking up on words and just like tone of voice, like it was just weird. Like I had like a different, I mean, I still feel like I have an accent because I talk to my manager is Canadian. Okay, cool. I think I've traveled so much that like at this point I'm just like, I'm influenced by every different culture that I've been around, you know. So it's like, I'm just human.
What do you enjoy? What do you enjoy most about traveling? And does traveling, I don't want to say affect your music, but does traveling open you up to different type of sounds and styles? Like I've heard someone say that before.
Yeah, I think that's how I inevitably got to where I'm at right now is just from traveling, you know, going to Chicago, Texas, you know, Seattle, everywhere, like all the different spots. It's like there's different people, different cultures, different backgrounds, and when I meet them, I feel like from the sonics of their voice to the way that people dress, like I was inspired by everything. And I think that there's art in everything, and
that's a fact.
You know, like
that's a fact.
That might be my potential album name.
You know, that was one thing. That was one thing he didn't say.
Yeah.
You told me that the guys in Detroit were working in factories,
right?
And that's how they kind of came together with.
They were inspired by the sounds of the city.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's crazy.
And I feel like that's really sick. And I'm just inspired by, you know, my life experiences, like I said. So like, yeah, man. So, you know, it is what it is. Like whoever you're around, you're gonna pick up on it. Like, what's up, my G? What's good, homie? Like whatever it is. Like, I mean, if it's authentic to you in that time, it is. And at other times, it might just fade away depending on your situation. Like, if I move right now to New York, I might be saying, "What up, B?" Whatever they say.
Eventually, you adapt.
You go to UK. What up, mate? You know, like. I mean, it's inevitable. So coming from Canada, like, I feel like I did pick up a lot on the culture here, and. I'm like definitely a fusion of cultures, and even my background is Iranian, so you know I have like Middle Eastern roots and being from Canada, and it's just crazy, man. Like I'm just like at this point I realize like I'm just a human with like different cultures.
You
all,
are
like,
art itself.
Yeah, I'm art. Like I am literally all these different cultures and art forms, and I just I'm reflecting it, and I feel like that's what a DJ does. A DJ plays different types of music, different cultures, like different sounds, different cities, like. You become like it's like a one world vibe, like you know what I mean, and especially with the internet and social media, like you're exposed to like Japanese and Korean, like even Squid Game, like come on, that's a Korean movie, but it's inspiring everybody, you know what I mean? So it's so sick, like you know.
What was it like? Watching Drake escalate the way that he did?
Man, it was phenomenal, bro. Like I actually was the biggest Drake hater when I was in Canada.
Why?
I don't know, man. I think it has something to do with being like a fan of like rappity rap, like Eminem, 50 Cent, like just straight bars, and then having him like sing and stuff was tripping me out. Cause I'm like, are you a singer or a rapper?
This ain't it right here.
Are you singing? What are you doing? Like, what is this? A sing rap thing? Like, I don't know. So I was really like frustrated with that. I remember running around school, like I'm like 10th grade or whatever. He's not a real rapper. Let me tell you, man. Tupac, Biggie, 50 Cent, like, and people are like, relax, bro. Like he's a sick artist, and I'm like, I don't buy it. So then I just honestly, what changed and shifted me was when he came out with that Forever song with Eminem and Wayne and everybody. Man, like when I heard him on that, I was like, damn, bro, he's rapping with the greats, the people that I look up to. So
and that was a moment. That was a moment that you needed.
2011. Yeah,
that was a moment that you needed.
Yeah,
because as artistic as you are, and the way that you can get an artist from over this side of the world and that side of the world, they gonna come with two different sounds.
Yeah,
but you needed that moment.
No, and like it was like what he did. Like Wayne is from the South. Eminem's, Detroit. Drake is from Canada. You know what I mean? Like it was just crazy. Like Kanye, Chicago. Like you know what I mean? Boom! It was all on one track, and it was just like mind blowing how dope that song was. I was playing it all the time.
Yeah, man. Facts.
And so I feel like after that point, like everything he put out was just like an anthem to my life.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? Like
you can't deny that.
If I hear the motto, I'm going back to 2012. I remember like graduating. You know what I mean? If I hear like something else, like boom, that's another part of my life. You know?
Yeah. One of my favorites from those days was that "Don't You Have a Man? Don't You Have a Man? Why you?" That song.
Which one is that?
That was off of the Comeback season.
That's way back. That's before that's like kind of like where I was hesitant about Drake.
Oh man,
yeah. I was going into the So Far Gone kind of era. That's when I really became a fan.
So Far Gone is hard.
So
yeah. Now I gotta ask you, DJ Moza, what is it that motivates you the most? Every day you wake up, you can instantly catch the fire from this when you think about it.
Man, like I feel like music and like artistry and everything is changing, just like my emotions. So maybe like a month or two ago, I was really into hip hop and fusing it with Latin music, and then I did a music video Airbnb, and then now I'm like, what's next?
Yeah.
And as soon as it's what's next is like, it's just whatever I'm feeling. So if I feel like doing tech house, I'm doing that, and I'm fusing that, you know, because it's fun, and I have like, my sister always hits me up, you have such an ADHD mind, you know, like joking around. I mean, I don't know, maybe I do, I do, you know, maybe I am ADHD.
I mean, but it helps you.
It like from my artistic side, that's how I like manifest it. But I feel like, you know, I'm grateful that it's not like a really bad disease or mental health issue where I can't control it. I feel like I'm in control a little bit. If it ever does get out of control, I gotta hit up a therapist, like I said, you know what I mean? Can't get back in check. But I feel like for now I'm doing okay, and I use it to create. And I feel like we live in an ADHD world at this point, because
short attention span.
Like the desensitization of like content, like you're just consistently being fed content. Is oversaturation to the point where like everyone's famous on TikTok, like random kids that are 14 years old and stuff. I mean, and there's no hate towards that. I don't really care about who's famous and who's not. It's just like, what are you bringing to the world? If what you're bringing to the world is entertaining and it makes someone smile and it's just a simple TikTok, that's dope as hell. That's super sick. And if maybe you just play guitar and that's what you do, awesome. You know what I mean? There's no hate towards any type of art, because dancing, graffiti, you know, that's hip hop, bro. Break dancing, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a lifestyle. And I feel like TikTok and Instagram and all that is just allowing people to express themselves. So
facts,
it's awesome, man.
And it brings it global. When back in the day they didn't have this type of access.
If you're from the South, you're staying there. In New York, you're there, and then it's like the labels would come in and be like, okay, let's throw this on the radio. It was so organized, man. And now at this point, it's like, it's just a free for all.
It's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's everywhere. But that is just where the world is today. And it's perfectly fine, because at the end of the day, if you're still supposed to be up there, you're gonna get there. I mean, regardless.
And maybe honestly, it'll be crowded at the top. Maybe you go up there and everyone's famous.
No, you know what? No, the top will never be crowded, because it's not about it, because being at the top is more so about your work ethic. And it's about the sacrifices.
So you think that if we look at the top over the past 20 years, it's always been a select few, maybe 100 people.
Only a select few.
In regards to like hip hop.
Everybody can't make it to the top. Bro.
But do you think the future also holds the same?
Yeah, you have to have a certain when you think about being at the top. The work ethic that you have to have, the situations you have to make it through, the process, that'll never change.
You know, I actually kind of agree with you, because I just watched this interview by Bella Porch. She's a TikToker, and her story's crazy, man. Like what she's been through, coming from the Philippines and going through the abuse she did, and then coming to America and blowing up as a TikTok star. Everyone just looked at her like, oh, this is some like cute girl doing little dances, and she made it. She was in the military, everything. And it's like, now that you put it that way, I realized that even in TikTok, there's the top dogs. You know what I mean? So it's like TikTok or hip hop, like, I think that it's not changing. You got to really work hard to be number one. Hey, but I'll be happy with number two though too.
That's perfect.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's fine, because if you number two, you at the top.
You know
I'm close.
I'm close to the top.
Conversation away.
Hey.
You want to be number one. We want to be number one. But if you're number two,
and even number two, I'm good with. You know what I mean? Like one of my homies told me that. He's like, hey, you don't have to worry about staying on top when you're number two.
Well, see, the thing is, like they said, aim for the moon, you'll land with the stars.
That's true.
That's what you want.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like and I think that everything is oversaturated now.
Big facts.
Everything is. And we have access to it, you know, but only those few that make it to the top are going to be the ones that we look at as, I want to be like that.
That's true, bro.
I want that. That's
the inspiring role models and what have you.
And most of the time, those stories are the most impactful. Because they've been through a lot. So I definitely think whoever's at the top, that the same process and getting there is going to always be the same.
It's going to be crazy.
It's only going to be a select few. So, DJ Moza, what do you clap it up for when you think about life and the things that you've been through?
I think the number one would have to be my mother and my father. I'll definitely clap it up for them. My sister, you know, just being for me, my family first, just because they were there first, you know. Second of all, it'd be my wife. She was there for me. We've been married almost 7 years now, this month, November. And she was there through thick and thin. You know, I mean, I can't even get into every single detail. It's like a crazy journey.
I mean, I can only imagine that's your lady.
Like my neck, you know, I had a fractured neck. I couldn't get up off the bed. She was there for me, feeding me, working a job, handling the bills. You know, it's something that most people probably wouldn't do. You know what I mean? And just, I mean, she took 2 buses, bro, and worked 2 jobs. Man. You know what I'm saying? That's my ride or die. So for me, it's like, when I see her, that's what makes me clap. That's my like, that's my role model. It's her, it's my mom, it's my dad. My mom was working, you know, graveyard shifts as a nurse. My dad was always, he always had a business and he was working a job too at the same time, juggling those, you know. And my sister getting a degree in political science right now in Vancouver, UBC, like that's inspiring to me. She got her education. She's super bright. I learned a lot of things from her, you know, and I'm grateful for these people in my life. These are my icons. These are my role models, and I feel like that's what I clap it up for. 100%.
I feel that. Now, one thing I got to ask you, DJMOZA, who do you want to work with? And I mean, like somebody right now that you like, man, I can't wait to get to this person. Who was that for you?
Man, for the longest time it was Drake, 100%, and my mind has been shifting lately, and it's been growing, I feel like, and evolving. Before, I'd always had him on top as like, man, I gotta work with him, I gotta da-da-da. But recently, even in one of his songs, he says, if I'm at the top, then that's how I know you've never seen the top. That's what he said in his Certified Lover Boy, right? Okay. And so I feel like the concept behind that is work on yourself, you know, like make yourself, create yourself, be the best version of yourself. And then get to that top. And then when you're already at the top, it's like, you know, you could work with other top dogs, you know? But if you're just focusing on like, oh, can I meet like so-and-so? Can I go over here? And I've done it all. This is coming from experience. It's like, it's pointless. It's like, what do you bring to the table?
That's crazy.
What are you
that's
doing?
True. That's
you
very
know what I mean?
True.
So,
and I never thought about it like that. I never even caught that line.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And even speaking about the top, you know, of course, we know Jay-Z's at the top. You know what I'm saying? Drake's at the top. Lil Wayne.
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying? See, everybody can't be that.
No.
And everybody won't be that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that top level is always going to, something you got to do to get up there.
And you know what?
And everybody not going to make
it. I hope that I don't come off as ungrateful by not mentioning these names, that I would love to work with them. Of course, I'd love to work with them.
Facts.
But I feel like that at this point, it's just obvious. It's like, you could tell from my Instagram, the people that I've met, I haven't asked for a song. I haven't. Why? Reason being is that I don't feel like I've brought anything to the table just yet. You know what I mean? I want the situations to be right. If you don't have a check from me, don't check for me. That's what French Montana said in his latest music video.
He going in.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the reason is because he deserves to get paid now. He's put in his work. He's built his name. He's done hella records. It's like, I'm just a young G in this game, you know. I gotta work my way up and do what I gotta do and pay homage to the greats, and at the same time stay humble and respectful when I walk into these rooms. I'm not asking for a fishing rod. I'm not asking for fish. I go and get it on my own, you know.
And you are definitely on your way, and that's another thing too, is, you know, it's unfortunate, but it's like there's a certain amount of things you got to make it out of to make it to the top. Yeah. There's some emotional stress that you're going to have to go through. You know, we have to go through to make it to the top. And everybody just ain't willing for that. I want to tackle that for real. Like, that's real, you know what I'm saying? That's why the top is so, it's not everybody there at the top. Yeah. Because everybody isn't willing to commit themselves. And it can get dark. It can get ugly. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta go through some stuff. Like you said, you've been through, you know, a whole lot. I mean, coming from Canada, coming to LA, that's enough. How many people are willing to leave what's home to go somewhere else in order to chase
shout out
their
to
dream?
My parents, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to discredit them and make it seem like I came here on my own. So shout out to my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, they, you know, he's the one who was able to get that business together that got us their visa to come out here. You know what I mean? And
that was a hell of a process.
And he was talking to Pakistan and China and going out there and trying to get these items together. And he's that's my biggest role model, you know? So for me, it's like when I see them and I see what they've been through going from Iran to Canada, you know, and having to escape the persecution, having to escape the tragedies that was going on at that time with the revolution and all that. Like, these guys, like me in comparison to them, bro, like I'm nothing. I'm nothing. Like, struggle, I don't know what struggle is. Real talk, if we're gonna compare. And even like people talk about like, yo man, I was in the hood. It's like respect, but there's people in India right now who don't have shoes. Facts. They're walking around barefoot and they're hungry and they don't know what's going on. They're just trying to survive. So like, I think that the less we focus on struggle and the more we focus on being grateful, that's how we walk towards and run towards success. Because as soon as we keep looking back on our struggles, I mean, it can be used for inspiration, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, let's appreciate things more. Let's be grateful. Like, what do I have? I have health. What do I have? I have enough money to survive right now. Now you're gonna go to the next level. Do I have enough money to live comfortably? Okay, cool. Do I have enough money for luxury? Okay, cool. So what's that? Do I have enough money? I skipped a stage. Do I have enough money to help my community? Do I have enough money to help my country, help the world? You know, like once you get into that mind state, luxuries and those they don't even taste like it's not interesting.
Facts, that's the truth.
You know?
And like you said, you know, people what they say, the cup half empty or the cup half full. So you're more of it's a cup half full
always
type
full,
of situation.
Always full. And,
you know what
and
I'm saying?
like I could talk about, you know, my car accident, and I can talk about sleeping in a car, I could whatever, but I don't think people need that right now. I think people need to be happy. I think people need to remember what they have in their life that they are grateful for. Because sometimes it just feels so dark. You're like, I don't have parents like this guy. I don't even have health. You know, I'm struggling with depression. It's like there's kids right now that are so lost watching this video right now, and they're so inspired by you, knowing that this guy's interviewing top dogs right now. He's going in, he's meeting everyone that I want to meet, and they're looking at me, you're a DJ. And it's like, that's great, but guess what? Like, our focus should be to let these kids know, man, like, follow your dreams.
And you gotta let them know the real though. You gotta let them know the real.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a struggle.
Real.
But at the same time, focus on the good things, and the struggles will not weigh in comparison.
Facts. Now I gotta ask you, would you say there have been some dreams that you've had that you've made things come to pass? We're gonna go back also because, you know, one of the things that you mentioned as well, like even after the car accident, you were like, you know, what I went through doesn't matter. You know, the fact that I got staples in my head doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's about how I'm grateful to even be alive. You said you felt that life was very fragile. You know, like life is fragile back then.
Man, you did your research.
Yeah, no, thanks, bro. Come on, man.
I appreciate you, bro.
Come on, man. Yeah. But you spoke about just how fragile life is. So I gotta ask you, how much more appreciation did you even have of life once you realized that? Because when you said that, I was like, ooh, like you know, it's true. It could be gone.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
I feel like that was like a big wake up call for me, because I was dealing with a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, and I feel like during that near death life experience, I woke up the next day just being grateful that I'm alive. Man, and that's such like a bare like necessity kind of thing. Like I'm breathing, and then once you become conscious of you breathing, you're like, oh, I can breathe. You know what I mean? Like wow. So all those other problems that I had, they don't even matter right now. I'm just alive. And then I'm worrying about, can I walk? And then they're just saying, hey, lie down, put this cast on, chill out. And it's like, okay, you can walk, you're gonna be good, but just right now you need to not, you know what I mean? And you're like, damn, I'm so excited. I can't wait to like walk again and run again and perform again. And so like those moments, bro, like I just see the positive in it. I don't look back at it like, boo hoo, me, like I was in a car accident. Like, nah, it's like, it was a great experience, man. Like I really, like right now till this day, 5 years later, I'm still hyped about life. I have my ups and downs, I'm a human, but like that kind of reminds me, like,
rekindles.
Be grateful, man. Be grateful for everything, you know? So.
I understand that, and you know, people often say that, and sometimes we need that more than we think. You know, and it's like, damn, that's real scary, but you need that. You need that,
bro. It's the fire.
It's the fire. It's in order to and maybe reinvent yourself, whatever the case may be.
100%. Whatever you need to do to keep going.
If y'all have not checked out All the Time, produced by none other than DJMOZA, or if you have not checked out Airbnb, produced by, I gotta say his name again, DJMOZA, you need to make sure you tap in, go on YouTube, search them names up. And I guarantee you're going to be highly entertained by the way that these videos were put together. Once again, my guy DJMOZA.
Thank you so much, bro.
Man, I appreciate you pulling up. Here, man, I appreciate my guy's energy. We just chopped a lot of big game, gave a lot of wisdom, man. And
it's a real conversation.
Yeah, facts.
We were just talking. Like I asked him, I was like, "You got any notes? Like, how are you doing this?" He's like, "I don't know. We're just talking."
Man, you know, it's glory to God. I've just been getting better repetition. That's it. Just been getting better repetition.
It's the light. It's the positivity. That's why I like it. Clap it up, bro. That's why I like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. So, DJMOZA, is there anything that you would like to leave the people with? And I mean, even, you know, he can't tell us too much about what he about to drop, man. Man. I mean, you know, is there something that you can leave us with, man?
I think that I just want to say that whatever you're doing, if it's school, if it's business, if it's art, just keep pursuing it. Don't stop. Believe in yourself. And I hope that if you do tune into my music, I hope you use it to follow your dreams and your goals. Whether you're working out in the gym, bump that. If you're in the car and you're going through something and you need to listen to something to keep you in a meditative state of mind and just be able to calm down, relax. Whatever you use my music for, I'm grateful to be a part of your life. And I hope that it can be an anthem to your life. I hope that it can be a moment in your life. Come out to the show, vibe with me. We're gonna be doing tech house vibes. We're gonna bring out a lot of cool DJs, a lot of cool artists, live performances mixed with electronic recordings. It's just gonna be something new. It's gonna be elements of hip hop. There's gonna be elements of tech house and Latin music, all the things that I've been surrounded with here in LA, and being from Canada too. So I just feel like it's just me, it's just my friends, and we're making music, and it's all about peace, love, and positivity. Shout out Logic. You know what I'm saying? It's really that, bro. Like, we really live this, and I feel like we just got to keep it going. You know what I mean?
That's it.
And just clap it up. You know?
Clap it up. Hey, y'all. Once again, it's your boy J.Brock, DJMOZA, Clapitup LA. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and do not forget to tune in to this man's very creative music. Once again, y'all, Clapitup LA.
Appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.
We out.